Hey, what's up, guys? It's Rolf from CORTWEAR here, and today we're going to be talking about the last episodes of the Last Dance documentary, which were episodes 7 and 8. Hold on, let me just get dressed up here. There we go. If you want to rep your own brand, you got to respect the pioneers. Okay? But let me just start by saying, first and foremost, at least in my opinion, these were the best episodes today. These were my favorite, just because a lot of people know Michael Jordan for who he is, the winner, the champion, and all that stuff. And I think this episode really, or these two episodes, really showed us the MJ that we don't know much about, the one that struggled and stuff like that, when he retired to play baseball, when he came back, and the stuff he had to struggle with. So it was really great, and it was cool to see how he was driven to win after he lost, and that's what champions are made of. It's not a matter of how well you do, it's a matter of how well you get up from failure. So I'm going to start off with the first thing. Uh, the first thing that really caught my attention this episode was when Pippen was leading the Bulls, right? Michael Jordan was there, Pippen was leading, and in the playoffs, Pippen is the man, and it turns out in the last play to win the game, they decide to go with Kukoc for the last shot, and Pippen, he felt disrespected, and he straight up said, "I'm not going in." And that's really shocking. I'm gonna go through it through the athlete perspective and through the coach's perspective. So, as an athlete, I could be the best player on my team. I could feel like I'll kill it, all this stuff. But they showed how Kukoc has scored several game-winning shots before, and to me, like, if, if the ball is put in other players' hands and we could trust him, it doesn't matter if I'm scored 50 that night. Well, 50 is pretty high, but I'll trust my teammates. You gotta trust your teammates in the end. It's all about being a good team player, and that's why the team was very disappointed because it wasn't like Pippen to do something like that. So as an athlete, I think that would be the best thing. At the end of the day, listen to the coach. He always knows better, and I think that they did the right decision. And in the end, we saw it was the right decision. They scored, they won the game, whether Pippen gave up or not. Now, in the coach's perspective, you know, if I had a player who said that, I would have done the same exact thing. He said, "The hell with him. Get another player in here. We'll win it without him," and they did. So I think Pippen should have done the right thing. He did the wrong thing, and in the end, Coach Jackson did the right thing, and it proved in the end they won. And even if it didn't go in, who knows what would have happened if Pippen stayed in? Maybe they wouldn't have won. So that's what I have to say about that one. Through an athlete's perspective, you all that are athletes, listen to the coach. They know best. And the coach's perspective, I think he did the right thing. If you have your star player who doesn't want to go in, you know, you'll have to win the game without him. And if they had lost the game, it would have been on Pippen. No matter what you say, it couldn't have been on Phil Jackson. It would have been on Pippen. So there's that. Next thing, one of the things I loved was how Michael Jordan made up excuses. He straight up made them up just to find a way to drive himself. So the particular incident I'm talking about, and guys, I'll be honest, I saw the episode last night. I got busy, so I'm doing it the day after, and I kind of forgot some names. Of course, I didn't see those games live. I'm a little too young for that stuff. Um, so I may get mixed up with some of the names and stuff like that. But I believe that this is where that rookie, don't remember his name, scored all over Jordan. Jordan had a bad game. And at the end of the game, that guy said, good game, Mike, or something around that fashion. And so Michael Jordan uses that as motivation to go out and kill it the next game. Just killed the rookie, killed the team, won, everything like that. And then it was reported that the rookie never even said, that to him. So Michael literally made that up in his head, and it worked. It made him furious. And, Michael, for all we know, that rookie probably thought that in his head. He probably didn't have the audacity to tell Michael, but he's probably thinking in his head, hey, I beat Michael this game, all this stuff. So just for Michael to think that that guy had the thought of that in his head, was enough to drive him and motivate him to do so much better the next game. So, that's one thing. If you're an athlete or whatever it is that you do, anything at all that you need to think of, do it. I know my dad does it as a coach. He always thinks of any little excuse to motivate his players. I do the same, and whatever it takes to get you going, if you have to make it up, hey, if it gets the win, it gets the job done. Uh, okay, a quote that Michael Jordan said. He was talking about how none of the other players talk crap when the score is even 0-0, right? And they won't talk crap when they're down. But it's easy. The thing they said was it's easy to talk crap when you're ahead. It's easy to talk crap when you're ahead. It's very true. A lot of people start talking when they're up and winning, but the real ballers, they'll stick to their guns and they'll be ready to prove anything no matter what the score is. Okay, only the cowards will talk when they're up. If you're gonna talk all the time. But for me, I just don't talk. You let your game talk for you and stuff like that. Whether you're 0-0 down or up, anything like that. But yeah, it's true. Don't If you don't talk, don't start talking when you're already up. Okay. Um, Another thing. So this is one thing that I wasn't too sure about. I never knew the real big story about the 45. You know, I knew that he put 45 when he came from retirement. I didn't know how long he had it, how many games, this and that. But so, man, I want to say it was Larry. I don't remember the last name, but he went off and said 45 isn't 23. And when Michael Jordan heard that, he said, "Oh, you know what? I'm gonna switch to 23," and he did. And he ended up killing it again. Now, eventually, they ended up losing, and what happened was Michael Jordan's trainer told him, "Mike, I'm here. Whenever you need to see me, just give me a call." And Michael said, "I'll see you tomorrow." The very next day that he lost, he was gonna see him the next day and start training again. That right there, man, I love that as a coach. Anytime I have players, because I'll be honest, you know, well, I always tell my players, we as coaches would love to go out there and play, but we can't. The most we could do is coach. And there's so many times when I lose games as a coach that I'm thinking, man, I can't wait to get in the gym again. And I'm not even playing. I'm just gonna go coach. But I'm always like, I can't wait to get in the gym. I want to get in right now, guys. There have been games where I've lost as a coach. Away, we drive to the school, and we get down, get our stuff from the lockers, and man, I literally want to stay there, and I'm like, man, I just want to stay in the gym and shoot and stuff, just because I hate to lose. And if you took anything away from this episode, let it be that he wanted to train the very next day that he lost. You young athletes out there, that's the mentality that you have to have. What do I do to get myself back up from where I was? Okay, so definitely a big thing that you need to take from this episode. Other thing, I'll just say, he built the facilities. He had the Warner Brothers built the facility for him during the Space Jam shooting and all that stuff, shooting of the movie, which again I think is a really great thing. A lot of people nowadays, a lot of athletes are obviously celebrities too, and they have to do stuff, but sports comes first. And Michael Jordan encompassed that idea. He said, if you want me to do this, you're gonna have to build this for me, and all the players have to come, all the players that I want, and he did that. So even though he had other obligations, his main thing was always basketball, and he stuck true to that. And finally, the last thing was this fourth championship was very, very, what do I say? It was a very influential and distinct championship for Jordan because he did for his family, right? The Sonics made a comeback. They started winning, and the series got tight. And this was the first time that Jordan's dad was not there. Jordan's dad passed away, unfortunately, and it so happened. Like, what are the odds that happens on Father's Day, that game? So he did for family. He went out and they destroyed the Sonics to close it out. And just that last scene where he's just bawling and sobbing and crying on the floor with the trophy. Uh, that just speaks volumes. Whatever it is that you need to motivate you to win, do it. And I guarantee you, if Jordan would have lost that finals, his dad wouldn't have been upset because he was doing whatever he could for him. But turned out the way that it did, and family is the greatest motivator. Family. If you could do anything for family, that's gonna be a great motivator. So, you know, as far as the whole entire Last Dance, I would say if any athlete were to watch any episodes, we haven't seen the last two yet, but I think definitely these two, 7 and 8, are the most influential ones. If you're gonna see any two episodes, see those two episodes because they have really big, important, key messages on how to be a champion. So, with all that being said, hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any opinions, any comments on it as well, feel free to discuss in the comments, all that stuff. Like, share, subscribe. So this was Rolling Courtwear. Remember, transcend above, and we'll see you in the next one, guys.